This is the biggest expansion of the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program ever. Will your loans be forgiven? Stay tuned to find out. Hello and welcome back to Practical Personal Finance, where you get the information you need to understand and succeed with money. Recently, the U.S. Department of Education announced sweeping changes to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, making thousands of Americans eligible to have their student loans forgiven immediately. Today, I'm going to give you a quick refresher on what this important program is. Then I'm going to help you understand what's changing about public service loan forgiveness. And finally, at the very end of this video, I'll provide my recommendations for what you should do right now to take advantage of this new, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We'll begin with a quick refresher on public service loan forgiveness, commonly referred to as PSLF. This program, introduced in 2007, allows people who meet certain qualifications to discharge the balance of their student loans after 10 years of timely payments and full-time employment in a public service position. That was from one of my previous videos, where I went in depth on what PSLF is and how it works. Link to that video is down below. So what are the qualifications? Well, traditionally you need to have direct loans, and you need to make 120 qualifying monthly payments under a qualifying repayment plan while working full-time for a qualifying employer. The easiest way to know if you're eligible and on track to receive public service loan forgiveness is to use the free PSLF help tool on the Federal Student Aid website. This is where you can determine if your employer qualifies and monitor your progress toward those 120 monthly payments. The tool also generates something called a PSLF form, which is something you can and should submit to the federal government on a yearly basis to certify each of your payments over the past 12 months. This lets you monitor your progress more closely, prevents you from getting off track, and cuts down on the paperwork once you've completed your 10 years of public service. Link to the PSLF help tool is down below as well. Next, let's talk about the ways in which PSLF is changing. First and foremost is that more types of loans are becoming eligible for the program. Previously, the only types of loans that were eligible were direct loans, loans that were issued through the William D. Ford Federal Direct Loan Program. This includes direct subsidized and unsubsidized loans, direct plus loans, and direct consolidation loans. Now, FFEL program loans and Perkins loans, both of which were previously ineligible, are being added to that list. And because this change is being applied retroactively, it's estimated that tens of thousands of Americans will immediately qualify for these loans to be forgiven. That being said, if you've got private student loans, you're still out of luck. The second change has to do with those 120 qualifying payments, and there are a few angles here. Previously, if you didn't make a payment within 15 days of the due date, it didn't count, even if you were just a couple of hours late. Now, those late payments will be eligible. Before, if you didn't pay the full amount due on your bill, your payment didn't count, even if it was short by just a penny or two. With these new changes, those payments for less than the full amount will be eligible. It used to be that in order for your payment to count, it had to be made under a specific type of repayment plan. Now, all repayment plans are eligible. And finally, prior to the overhaul, if you consolidated your student loans with a direct consolidation loan, none of the payments made before the consolidation would have counted. Now, they will. The third and final change I'd like to discuss has to do with how PSLF works for members of the armed forces. Previously, if you were on active duty in the military and you wanted those months of service to count toward public service loan forgiveness, your student loans had to be in active repayment, with you making your payments on time and in full each month. Seems pretty straightforward. But when you're on active duty, you can qualify for deferment or forbearance to help you through periods when your main focus was, understandably, not your student loans. A lot of service members took advantage of this without realizing that those months would not count toward PSLF. Now, if student loans were on pause during active duty, each of those months will count toward the 120 required to have student loans discharged. Furthermore, the federal government will soon begin matching student loan data from the Department of Education with employment data from other federal agencies to automatically keep track of progress toward PSLF for service members and other federal employees. This will make it even easier for the people serving our country to have their student loans forgiven. Now that you understand the big changes coming to PSLF, let's talk about what you should do in order to take advantage of them. Step 1 is to consolidate, and consolidate some more. If you have FFEL program loans or Perkins loans, they only become eligible if they are consolidated with a direct consolidation loan. As I mentioned earlier, your consolidation no longer resets your progress toward PSLF. And if you've already got yourself a consolidation loan, you'll be able to certify those pre-consolidation payments retroactively, including payments on other direct loans that were consolidated. Step 2 is to submit a PSLF form on or before October 31st, 2022. This is absolutely critical because doing so certifies your eligible payments. After that date, you will no longer be able to certify these past payments that were previously ineligible. The easiest way to complete a PSLF form is by using the PSLF help tool that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Link to that tool, once again, is down below. The Department of Education has said that some past payments will be automatically certified and that you won't need to take any action. But this is one case in which I would highly recommend you take responsibility and ensure that happens. Don't rely on the federal government to do this part for you. Step 3 is to make sure your contact information is up to date on the student aid website and with your student loan servicer, and look out for updates from the Department of Education in the coming months. Double check that the federal government and the servicer you pay every month have your correct email address, phone number, and mailing address. And finally, step 4 is to share this video and this news with someone you know who has student loans. People have this kind of stuff on autopilot, and this is one situation where we need to spread the word. After October 31st, 2022, the opportunity to certify previously ineligible payments and have previously ineligible loans forgiven will be gone forever. And it would be a shame if someone missed out on this potentially life-changing opportunity. Will you be impacted by the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Waiver? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about your situation and answer any other questions you might have. If you would like to learn more about the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, click right here to watch a video I made on that very topic. And if you're not yet a PPF subscriber, click right here to hop on board. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Andrew Scheer, and I'll see you next time.